Hello students, welcome to my channel Chemistry Setu. Today we are going to start a new topic, solubility and solubility of gases in liquid solvent, which is also expressed as Henry's law. This is a topic of great practical aspect. So stay connected and keep watching. So let's get started. First we are defining solubility. So what do you mean by solubility? Solubility is the maximum amount of a substance that can be dissolved in a specific amount of solvent at a specific temperature. Also depend upon nature of solute and solvent as well as on temperature and pressure. Now we are discussing solubility of gases in liquid. The natural water contains dissolved oxygen, which is vital for the existence of aquatic life in oceans, rivers and lakes. So the oxygen is already present in water, or we can say that it is dissolved in water. So the solubility of gases in liquid is defined by or expressed by adsorption coefficient. Let's discuss absorption coefficient. Absorption coefficient is defined as the volume of the gas in milliliter that can be dissolved by 1 milliliter of a liquid solvent at 1 atmospheric pressure and the temperature of the experiment. Here small v is the volume of the gas dissolved, capital V is the volume of the solvent, and P is the pressure of the gas in atmospheric pressure. Now discuss the factors affecting solubility of gases in liquid. There are three major factors which affects this. These are known as the nature of the gas and the solvent, the temperature and the pressure. Now we will discuss them individually. The gases which can be easily liquefied are more soluble in common solvent. For example, the carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen and nitrogen, and the gases which can react with the solvent have higher solubility than the gases which do not react with the solvent. For example, HCl, hydrogen chloride and ammonia are highly soluble in water because they form a soluble complex with water. Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxides are more soluble in ethyl alcohol than in water at the same temperature and pressure. This defines the nature of the gas and the solvent which affect the solubility of the gases in liquid. Now discuss the effect of temperature. As we know that dissolution is an exothermic process, hence the solubility of most of the gases decreases with increase in temperature. This point has a practical aspect that when we boil water, we saw bubbles coming out of the water before boiling of the solution itself. Where these bubbles came from? These bubbles are the dissolved oxygen which is already present in water, but when temperature increases, this dissolved oxygen came out from the solution in form of bubbles. The effect of temperature. स्टूडेंट्स, आपने ये वाला एग्जांपल घर पे भी देखा होगा कि जब भी किचन में हम लोग जैसे चाय वगैरह जब कुछ बनाते हैं तो वाटर के बॉईल होने से पहले ही उसमें से बबल्स निकलना शुरू हो जाते हैं। वो जो बबल्स हैं ये बबल्स जो है ये डिज़ोल्व ऑक्सीजन है, ये डिज़ोल्व एयर है जो उस वाटर में ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट थी लेकिन एट अ लोअर टेम्परेचर। तो करते हैं तो डिज़ोल्व एयर या डिज़ोल्व ऑक्सीजन उस वाटर में से बबल्स के फॉर्मेट में बाहर आना शुरू हो जाता है। डिज़ोल्व वो जो बबल्स हैं यही डिज़ोल्व ऑक्सीजन है जो उस वाटर में ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट थी, बट टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होने के साथ में वो गैसेस वहाँ से या वाटर से बाहर आना शुरू हो जाता है। The third factor is pressure. The pressure is the most important factor which influences the solubility of a gas in liquid. The effect of pressure on solubility of the gas in liquid is given by or defined by Henry's law, according to which the solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas over the solution at a definite temperature. Here m is the mass of the gas dissolved per unit volume of the solvent and P is the pressure of the gas in equilibrium. K is the proportionality constant. इस फॉर्मूला के अकॉर्डिंग अगर P की वैल्यू हम लोग 1 atm लेते हैं then m will be equals to K. It means the solubility of the gas at a unit pressure is equal to constant K. It means the solubility of a gas at unit pressure is equals to constant. The value of K is different for different gases at a particular temperature. The magnitude of K depends on nature of the gas and the nature of the solvent and temperature. If solubility of a gas is known at one particular pressure, then it can be calculated at other pressure using this formula. M1 divided by M2 equals to P1 divided by P2. Here M1 is the solubility of the gas at pressure P1 and M2 is the solubility of the gas at pressure P2. If we use mole fraction of the gas in a solution as a measure of its solubility instead of mass, then the Henry's law can also be stated as that mole fraction of a gas in a solution is proportional to the partial pressure of the gas. It means किसी भी सॉल्यूशन में गैस का मोल फ्रैक्शन जितना हाई होगा उसका पार्शियल प्रेशर उतना ही हाई होगा. This is the statement of Henry's law. Here X is the mole fraction of the gas and P is the partial pressure of the gas. X equals to the mole fraction of the gas and small p is the partial pressure of the gas. Then using this formula we get X equals to K dash P or small p equals to 1 upon K dash X. Here this constant value 1 upon K dash is denoted by P equals to KHX. This KH refers to Henry's constant. Different gases have different value of KH at a definite temperature for a given solvent. From this equation, it can be understood that higher is the value of Henry's constant, lower is the solubility of the gas in liquid. I repeat, higher is the value of Henry's law constant, lower is the solubility of the gas in liquid. Now let's discuss the limitations of Henry's law. Henry's law is only applicable when the pressure is not too high, when the pressure is not too high. The temperature is not very low, and the dissolved gas should not chemically combine with the solvent. Combine with the solvent means when we dissolve ammonia in water, it forms NH4OH. If the gas ammonia is chemically combining with H2O, means now Henry's law is not applicable in this condition. Next example, when we dissolve CO2 on H2O, CO2 combines with water to form carbonic acid H2CO3, which is example of weak acid. This H2CO3 further split into 2H plus and CO3 minus 2. Here also CO2 is chemically combining with water. In this case, Henry's law will not apply. Now discuss the applications of Henry's law. As I have mentioned earlier that Henry's law have a very great practical aspect in our regular life. The first application is carbonated beverages. Students, रेगुलर लाइफ में हम लोग जितने भी कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स, सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक वगैरह यूज़ में लेते हैं, ये सभी हेनरीज लॉ के प्रिंसिपल पे ही बेस्ड होता है. इसके अकॉर्डिंग ये जो सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स है उसमें हाई प्रेशर पे CO2 गैस लिक्विड में फिल करी जाती है. जैसे ही हम लोग सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स पे लगी हुई कैप को जब रिमूव करते हैं तो हाई प्रेशर पे फिल्ड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर रिलीज होने की वजह से फिज की साउंड के साथ में सॉल्यूशन से बाहर आती है. पॉपअप की साउंड जो हम लोग सुनते हैं वो वही हाई प्रेशर पे डिजॉल्व कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड होता है जो उस सॉल्यूशन में ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट होगा. जैसे ही ऊपर से लगी हुई कैप को हम लोग रिलीज करते हैं, डिजॉल्व कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वहां से रिलीज हो जाती है. सेकेंड एप्लीकेशन इज हाई एल्टीट्यूड सिकनेस. हाई एल्टीट्यूड पर एटमॉस्फेयर में डिजॉल्व ऑक्सीजन की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कम होगी, वही डिक्रीज होने की वजह से ब्लड में भी ऑक्सीजन की कमी हो जाती है एंड लोगों को वीकनेस महसूस होती है. एंड द थर्ड एप्लीकेशन इज डीप सी डाइविंग. एज वी नो द solubility of gases increases with increasing pressure. So the scuba divers substitute helium for nitrogen in the air because helium has a much lower solubility in biological fluids than nitrogen.